Let's go ahead and read the document. So, to give you guys all context about what's going on here, there's a Reddit post everyone keeps asking me to read. This pro player named 149 centimeters says, I quit this set Google Doc nuke. And then the Reddit poster says, I've known 149cm since he got into the competitive scene a year or so ago. He really loves this game, but it seems like him and many others in the high elo scene have expressed deep frustrations towards many aspects of the set. What do you think? Do you relate to his grievances? So let's take a look at this. All right, so it is a Reddit post that is complaining about the state of the game. I mean, again, before I even read this, I'll preface this with, I personally really don't like the state of the game. I'm trying my hardest to have a good time with it anyway. That's why, I would like to say my vibe of the stream has been pretty good. I've tried to stay positive on every game no matter what. With that being said, I do think the game is not in a good state right now. I've complained about it a lot. They've made a lot of problems, and I do think that Riot dropped the ball on this set. Mostly in regards to bugs and balancing. There are just a very large amount of bugs and balances issues. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. He says, this set is so bad that everyone I know that plays competitively has quit competing. Competitively, this set is just a disaster, so I'm going to rant. Let's play TFT equals. Let's go to Vegas and put everything on red. Set mechanics, fruits. Set 13 anomalies provided 35% increase for one unit and was not movable and was generic. Everybody had the same pool. Riot devs, let's make a new set mechanic. Let's give everyone 2 movable fruits. Make it so that scaling fruits can appear on 3-6, where you get your second fruit. So you're sitting there thinking, should I fruit my Virgo and get max Arcana, max speed, or should I fruit my 0 items Swain 0 so I can lose a silver augment's worth of combat for 1 turn for fun? This is very true, by the way. Like they should not be giving you the second fruit on 3-6. It does put you in this weird spot where like you have to sack 1 round a lot of the time, and other people just don't. Also, on 3-6, you can be offered stuff like Max Arcana or like Golden Edge, and it's like completely useless. I've had times where like I completely lose a fruit because all 3 of my options are like Singularity, Max Vitality, or like All Out Cassante. And it's like, I don't want any of those. I just wanted any generic tank one. And like you lose because you fruited on 3-6 instead of 4-1. Fruit balancing. So you're telling me I can either get a full red buff and a Rabadons for my 5-item Kale, or I can use both my fruits on 2-1, miss, and get stuck with Double Strike, Ramping Rage, or Soul Chippa. And this is the case for 50% of the units in the game. Karma, sure hope I hit Mage, minimum 1 placement swing. Jinx, sure hope I hit Gather Force, minimum 1 placement swing. Gwen, sure hope I hit Fusion Dance, why is it still bugged? Literally everyone in the game. Sure hope I hit Sky Piercer, 2 full item for you. Poppy, sure hope I hit Best Defense, let's build towards it. Miss yourself 8th. Akali, sure hope I hit Crimson Veil, XD. Udyr, sure hope I hit Colossal, 74 placement swing. Smolder, sure hope I hit Rare Treat and then Efficient, in that order. Cog Mao, sure hope I hit Caretaker or Fairy Tale. Every single 1 or 2 cost unit, sure hope I hit over 9k. Darius, no Fusion Dance, 8, very large sad emoji. Yasuo, sure hope I hit Him Kama Morprage. Every single comp in the game. Socialite, Lamau. Combat Start Maker adjacent hexes. Units starting combat in those hexes gain 120 HP and 12 damage a mop. Vlethko? Sure hope I hit Stretch Arm. GP? Sure hope I hit Stretchy Arms. GP Lamau. Why can there be a patch where 4 people playing PG Penis get out top 4? Okay. A professional 44 team contested themselves on GP and won the game. Lamau. Here we have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and no P patch. Surely we can get it right at the end. And the balanced thrashing in this set is beyond belief. Yuumi was A tier at best. Let's send a drone to nuke her house and everyone she know. I've actually never used stats like this, so I don't know what this data means, but it's probably something to show his earlier argument about placement swings. 2-star 4 cost, by the way, D colon, or colon D. 9 lives, sad face removed, basically. Socialite removed, Fusion Dance removed, Frost Touch removed, Shadow Clone removed, Stretchy Arms removed. But maybe they need to balance Thrash since there's literally no balance in this game. Kisa. Fishbones minus 1.6. Ash, Flicker Blade, TFT Fishbones TFT. Mana Mazane, Luden's Tempest, XDDDDDDDDDDDDDD, Sniper's Gwen, Range GP Viego, Picture of Garen with Locket, Silvermere Jace, Blyfighting Jewel Malzahar Shadow Clone, Killer Instinct Range, Happy Emoji. So how come for like 3 patches in a row, the best gold augment in the game for 2-1, 3-2, 4-2 was Portable Forge. GP patch. Radiant items Lamafal. Blue buff 15 AP AD. Radiant blue buff 60 AP 60 AD. Radiant Hodge minus 1.0 average placement on Vi and Kata for fun. Treasure Hunt. Sir, would you want 1 healing orbs or 2? 3 prismatic augments in 1 gold augment. He's referring to when Treasure Hunt was like the best augment in the game by far and you instantly win no matter what. That was on the first patch. Destiny augments. And then there's nothing there. Mort Dog on PvE. Every challenger player is freaking out right now about this 8 gold and how much it breaks the game and how good it is early. So we really can't go much higher. And to be honest, that's already probably too high of a number. But at least the low rolls will make up for it. So I actually expect to be honest with you in Prismatic and Gold Destiny to be the Soju Rage Bait augments. Like somebody else in the lobby will take it and get a high roll and he'll go on a rant of how they're just up 4 gold. And then they just win because they press the button. I hate this game. My name is Soju. Like that's it. Oh, that's that. We are 100% expecting that. And we're purposely baiting him here so that the first time he takes it, guaranteed he gets something like Dumbify or whatever. Like, absolutely. That's the entire point of this augment. We know it. It's a content farm augment. It's hilarious. Enjoy it. Result. Probably 1.0 average placement into nerf by 50%. My name is Soju and Rage Bait Haha. He's making fun of Mort Dog here, I think. And it's like the Riot developers have no foresight in anything. Hey, we are going to buff Wraith and Heavyweight. If only there was a unit with an already good hero augment that we should be wary of. Riot devs, we want Star Guardian to be playable outside of the vertical. Let's buff the lower end of Star Guardian. If only there was an augment that buffed the lower ends of Star Guardian that already average a 2 in the right spots XDDQ. Protagonist gives 1 full item and the 2-star and component and the 1-star and the 1-star still S tier augment. Okay, here it's kind of confusing, but he's basically saying Protagonist was so strong that it used to be a full item and 2-star, and then they nerfed it to component and 1-star, and then nerfed it to just 1-star, and it's still really good. Basically saying that it was really broken at the beginning. 15.5 patch notes. R farming now grants you plus 30 HP. That is kind of true, actually. It gives it to you 2 rounds early, so it's so strong. Isekai. And then there are the bugs Lamau. Patch 1, load up. No one can play the game. 50-50, you gain or lose LP. 2 days later, patch flex. Check Crystal to see which patch you're on Lamau. If you guys don't know, there was a patch where when you queued up, you didn't know what patch you were on, which is it's really bad. That one's actually pretty inexcusable. I don't know like how that happened, but if you queued up, there was a 50% chance you were just like on the main patch and 50% chance you were on the old patch. So which builds you wanted to play depended on which patch you were on, and you had to figure it out by looking at the numbers on the units. It was really bad. It was pretty inexcusable. And then also, there was like a section of 5 hours where if you queued up, nobody could get into the game. And then it was just a black screen. And then you just randomly got a placement 1 to 8. I don't even know if I put this in balance or bug, but Blink Attack Viego. XD. 9 lives not exclusive with hard bargain. That's pretty bad. That's pretty inexcusable. That means you like lose 3 lives and then hard bargain and just gain all your lives back. You can't get below 2nd place. 9 lives on 4-2 with beggars can't be choosers. Also inexcusable. Socialite strip didn't work for 2 patches. That is also true. If you took Socialite trying to make it work, it would look like it worked, which is crazy. And then the moment the unit walked forward, they would lose the Socialite buff. So if you like believed it was good in your spot and played it and didn't know it was bugged, you would just lose the game. Not done yet, only needs 6 deaths for 2 patches. I didn't even know that was a bug, but wow, I didn't know that. Fusion Dance gave 3000 AP, still does. Oh, it's still bugged, didn't know that. That's pretty bad. Mech Pilot Exec XD. I don't even know what bug he's referring to, but I wouldn't be surprised. Fruit Weight Bug. I also don't know what he's referring to, but I wouldn't be surprised. Ali out Casante in Ghost. I don't know what that means. Unstoppable in Ghost boards. I'm guessing on Ghost boards, these augments or these fruits are either way stronger or way weaker. Executioner didn't work on the mech until this patch. I see, that's a huge bug. So why does J Inks have an extra fruit on live right now? Does anyone know? So why does Lee Sin lose his trait with Ultra Stance on death? These are all very valid. Oh my god. Ramus pissing. XDDDDDD. Patch notes. Taking I'll Be the Arms will now guarantee the other 2 augments. Liar. This is true. They did say that if you take I'll Be the Arms, it will guarantee the other 2 augments, and then it didn't. And then on the following patch, they said, we fixed it, now it does, and then it didn't again. And then on the next patch, they said, hey, we couldn't fix it, so we're just straight up removing it from the game. But a lot of people lost LP for taking I'll Be the Arms, thinking they were going to get the other 2 augments. Oh yeah, Lee Sin having 3 traits during Bronze for Life, Mento Meta XD. That's very balanced. Callista for half a day killed your entire board. That is true. There was a bug that they shipped to live where Callista or 3 randomly one-shot your whole board. I don't know like how that happened. But I think it was supposed to be some bug fix where like her penetrating spear wasn't penetrating correctly. But then they like messed it up, and then it was very wild. Her spear would just bounce around your entire board and kill everything. It is inexcusable that these bugs are making it to live. Like it's like they didn't test it at all. 5 Crystal Gambit, 22 kills, Flicker Blade, or literally nothing. Okay, I'm not sure what he's referring to. I think he's saying that in an exaggerated way that Flicker Blade is just so much better than everything else, which is true. I've lost a lot of games with 7 Crystal Gambit because I didn't hit Flicker Blade and my opponent did. And the Lulu toggle bug. How can there be 2 Smolder 3s on 4-2? I don't get it. This is also true. There is a really big bug right now that you need to abuse if you want to be able to win with Lulu. If you switch from like, if you have like 5 Ramesses and then you switch to Smolder or Kog'Maw, now you are rolling in an uncontested pool. So if you have 8 Ramesses and another guy has 8 Ramesses and there's only 2 Ramesses left in the pool, all you gotta do is swap to Smolder. There are 0 Smolders out of the pool. You just roll like twice and you get it immediately. They said they fixed this bug, and then they didn't. And then they said they fixed it again, and then they didn't. It's really bad. A really common trend, it's this set only, and I don't know why. But like they keep on saying they fixed something, and then they didn't. Right? Like 2 of my second places today should have been first, but my Ahri was bugged. They said that they buffed her overkill damage, and then they didn't. And then I lost by like the overkill damage amount. They said they buffed it to 75%, and then I checked in game, it's 55. And I checked to make sure that like it wasn't just a visual bug, like a numbers bug, but it actually was just like the old patch. But like, I don't understand why they keep on saying they ship a change, and then it just simply isn't there. Like something at Riot has to have changed. There was probably some guy or some people, like a team, that would check the patch and make sure everything was valid. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they like left Riot and then someone else new came in and didn't know how to do it very well. That's my theory. All right, anyway. Augmentations, TeamfightTactics. So you're telling me in Prismatic Party, I don't get offered Gold Augment 2-1. I either get invested plus on 3-2 or I'm 8th. You're telling me my 4-2 Prismatic playing Ashe is Hold the Line, Blazing Soul, Tomb Raider, Bronze for Life. He's basically saying you can low roll. Yeah, I mean, that's always impossible. And then 2-1 Gold Augments Lamau. A Satria of 7 Warpath. Another one. Dazzling Display. You know what? Never mind. Every trait augment evil beyond measure. Pilfer. Blood Rage. Pumping up. He's basically listing all the terrible augments, which is true. These are all terrible. While my opponents is choosing between Tiny Team Keepers and Worth the Wait and Gold Destiny and Portable Forge and Shen Hero Augment. Can we just add some more gold augmentations on 2-1? Please, Riot Games. Diamond Hands. You can't even live until 4-7, even with Titanic on 2-1. Like, why is this even in the game? Is in the game for 3 patches, by the way. That is true. This augment probably averaged quite literally a 7. If you took that augment, there was like an 80 or 90% chance you just died before you got to activate it. Don't even get me started on hero augmentations. Flexibility Teamfight Tactics. 5 Battle Academia, 4 Prodigy Yumi. What's this? A Zyra 2 on rolldown? So lucky. I'm selling that instantly. 4 Mentors. So flexible, guys. I can flex between a Kali, a 1-cost unit, or Volibear 2, or Lee on 8. Or Yone. So lucky. Soul Fighter. Soul Fighter. Oh, I think he's saying if you're playing Soul Fighter, you can't play anything besides Soul Fighter, which is very true. Sork. I can flex between a Rise 1 in the front line or a Cassante 2 if I get lucky on my roll down. So lucky. Duelist Ashe. Cookie Cutter board. To be fair, Star Guardian's Dispatch is actually flexible, but I'm pretty sure this is the only glimpse of flexibility we've seen this set so far. Introduce TPC this set. I think it's a Tournament Pro Circuit. And then proceed to make the worst competitive set known to man. Good one, R Games. I definitely miss like shop bugged, 100% real, trash can matchmaking, and but I'm not spending another minute on this TFT set, so I'm out. I sure hope Paris set is going to be better than this piece of shit, and then that's the end of the document. All right, it took a long time to read, but we did finally finish reading it. Okay, so my thoughts. I actually think almost every single one of these grievances is very true. Riot actually did drop the ball. I usually defend Riot and say like, there's a lot of stuff to do. It's very hard to keep it balanced. It's very hard to check every single interaction. But in this set in particular, they did actually drop the ball a lot. I, as a player and someone who runs events for TFT, like the bootcamp, and participates and streams the game, I really hope that at the end of this set, they like give some explanation as to what's been going on. Because the amount of times your experience, like even just balance aside, which is already atrocious, the amount of times they just said they did something and then they didn't is really high. Like, you actually like lose your trust in Riot Games when this happens, right? You could say, oh, it's only one game and now you know, but like, you're going to experience this every time there's a bug. And there's definitely been over 10 things in this set where they said they did something and then they didn't. I don't know what's going on there, but they actually did drop the ball, and I really want to know why. Because they didn't do this before. There's been questionable balance or design decisions in the past, but they've always like explained why they do what they do, and they've always like did what they said they did. This is the first time they're like straight up lying, and I don't know why. Or lying, it might not be the right word. They probably think that they did it, and they didn't. They probably thought that the bugs were fixed and announced it. Okay. Yeah. So I think a lot of his complaints are really valid. I think we can all agree he's ridiculously aggressive. I've complained a lot, but I always make sure to like word it in a way that's like not attacking, right? There's like a really big difference between like, I want the game to be good, and these are my frustrations, versus TFT and Ramus pissing XDDDDDD, a bunch of sarcastic emojis, lots and lots and lots of swearing. I mean, I swear quite a lot, but like, even I didn't even read out all his like swear words just because like it felt really aggressive and stuff like this. I sure hope Parasite can be better than this piece of shit. Riot didn't make one mistake though. Yeah, they didn't. They made like 30 mistakes on this set. Like, let me make it clear. I agree with this document. I just think he was too aggressive. I think Riot will take this a lot less seriously because he was so aggressive. And I think there was a chance that if he worded all of this in a more like, I really like TFT. It's a really great game at its core. They made a lot of mistakes this set, and I'm very frustrated. Here is a list of like all the things that like went wrong. And like, I'd love to hear an explanation. I'd love to understand why it happened. And I'd love to feel confident as a competitor that it won't happen in the future. Then Riot might be like, hey, we appreciate that. And yeah, TLDR, valid complaints, very aggressive wording. I think like, yeah, there was a lot of complaining in here, but I think 95% of it was actually correct. There was a few small things that I didn't think were correct. Like this one. This part right here is basically saying like, you can get bad augments. You always could get bad augments, right? You will always randomly lose games because you got 6 augments that were unplayable, right? That's just TFT. That's just variance. I don't actually think that one's a problem. I think it's more like the balance in general is just really bad. So you are more likely this set to get screwed over by augments than last set. Last set had a lot more like okay playable augments. Oh, what is this? Iniko tweet? Oh yeah, here we go. Riot and Nico. I think there are some valid talking points here, but gonna be honest, this is my first ever impression of you and it's incredibly embarrassing. Not really interested in further discourse. Yeah, that's what I figured.